Nobody talks about this, but when you start making more money or start building wealth, your problems ain't over. They just change. And the crazy part is this: the moment you start doing better financially, people automatically just assume that you don't have any problems anymore. That's not true. People don't realize that there's a whole new set of traps and issues and problems that show up when you start making more money. So let me walk you through 5 traps that you need to watch out for when you start doing better with your money. The first one is this: the I deserve it syndrome, right? This is a real trap. This is where you make more money as your net worth grows. And so you start to get it in your brain that just because you make more money and your net worth is growing and you're seeing progress in your finances, you start believing that you just deserve better, right? You start thinking that money has to equal nicer stuff or more stuff. This is a financial trap that will leave you making more money and building wealth, but still living paycheck to paycheck if you're not careful, because you lose control because you think, hey, I got it, or we got it, right? We don't have to worry about tracking our money anymore. We don't have to worry about a budget. We work hard, so we deserve to live the life without a budget, without tracking what we spend. But here's the deal: you stop being organized with your money. You stop focusing and you stop tracking what you spend, and you become undisciplined with money. That's a real trap. This is really, really common amongst people who started from nothing and all of a sudden they're making a whole bunch of money. It happens all the time. So watch out for it. Now, the second trap as your money starts to grow is what I like to call the ego trap. Now, the ego trap is the trap where you start believing that you are somehow fundamentally smarter than everybody else because your bank balance is higher than most people, or you got more money, so you must know more stuff or be more intelligent than most people, right? Or because you have a business that leaped up over 7 figures in revenue last year. Here's the deal: you're not smarter than everybody else. Your business probably ain't that big just yet. I'm not hating. I'm just saying you still got work to do. Come off the high horse a little bit. Stay humble. Shut up and just keep delivering what you've been delivering to get to where you are. Yes, you may be doing well with money right now, but remember, anything could change in the blink of an eye, or you can wake up tomorrow morning and not be doing so well financially. So get your nose out of the air, stop flaunting, stop walking around with your chest out, and keep working. Because when you start winning with money, you got to realize something, and you got to learn this. You must learn to tell your ego to be quiet. Zip it, right? This ego gets in the way, and it often leads to poor spending habits ultimately, or it leads to emotional behaviors with money, bad investment choices, right? The I can't lose mindset, which is completely false. And it can lead to a lot of friction between you and 99% of the people who you come in contact with. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that you need to calm your ego down for the sake of other people. I'm saying you need to come off your high horse for the sake of humility. When you're truly grateful, it don't involve no ego. So watch out for the ego trap. Now, the third trap that you got to watch out for when you're doing well with money and growing your net worth is resisting the urge to live flashy. And this one kind of sneaks up on a lot of people, right? Because now you can actually afford some things. And that's where the danger in this trap is. You start upgrading everything. Your car gets nicer. Your house gets bigger. The clothes you wear become more expensive and name brand, right? Vacations get an upgrade too, right? You're taking more vacations and you're taking them to more exotic, nicer beaches, right? And before you know it, you're not living, you're actually performing. You're trying to look like you have money instead of actually continuing to build the money. Now, let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. I'm not telling you don't enjoy your money, right? But when your lifestyle starts to grow at the same pace as your income, you've just trapped yourself, because now You need that high income just to maintain the lifestyle that you've become used to, or to maintain a certain image, right? That's not freedom. When you start making more money, that's like bondage. It's pressure, more pressure. And the worst part is this: most of the people that you're trying to impress, it may be just you impressing yourself, most of them don't care about the type of vacation you take or the type of car you drive. Or they're just broke themselves trying to get by. They ain't worried about you or thinking about you. They might see you on Facebook or IG, but they ain't tripping off you. The deal is this: real wealth moves in silence. It don't need validation. It don't need to have an expensive suit on in order to feel validated. So here's the deal: as your net worth grows and your money grows, you got to learn to live well without needing to look rich. There's a difference. Now, the fourth trap is just a simple fact that relationships change and networks change. Listen, if you're building wealth and you have more money and you're hanging out with the people who have a whole lot less than you, watch out. That's all I got to say, right? Now, this one is real, okay? Because as you grow, your environment don't always grow with you. And that can create tension, jealousy, maybe envy, right? People start looking at you different. Now listen, here's the deal. Some of the people that you've been around for a long, long time, you start winning with money, they're going to celebrate with you. Yay, got your back, pushing you forward. But some are going to look at you with a side eye. Some are going to start expecting things from you. Now, all of a sudden, you're the one picking up the tab every time you go out to eat. Or you're the one that they call when they're short on something. Or you're the person that they quietly compare themselves to without you even know it. And if you're not careful, this can turn into resentment from both sides, right? You start feeling used, or you start feeling like they don't like you no more. They don't want you to come around no more. They didn't call you for this event and that event, right? They start feeling judged. And now what happens is the relationship is not the same anymore. So what do you do in this situation? You don't cut everybody off. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But you do have to get comfortable with boundaries. You got to learn how to say no to some people. You got to learn how to move differently. And you might have to build a new circle of people around you that matches where you're going. Not just the same circle that matches where you came from, like a lot of us are in, right? Because here's the deal. When you start winning with money, not everybody on this level with you can go to that next level with you. It's not a bad thing, but it just is what it is. And that's not arrogance. That's just you want to be in alignment with the group of people that you're around most of the time. Now, the fifth trap that happens when you start making more money is simply this: the over-delegation lifestyle. You know what I'm talking about. Let me explain this one. This one right here is a quiet killer because it feels like success. You finally got some money, so now you start outsourcing everything. Cooking. You got a personal chef, or you have somebody that can come in and cater at any time, or every single day you're ordering Uber Eats because you don't have the time to cook. Or maybe it's cleaning, right? You might have a nanny, or you might have some type of cleaning person or service come in once a week. You got money, so you hire everything out. You pay somebody to clean up your home, to run errands for you. Somebody else can do it, right? And before you know it, you've built a lifestyle where money tends to sort of leak out the bottom, right? Every single day. You're spending without even thinking about money. Because why? Because you have the money. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with convenience. I get it. But when everything in your life becomes outsourced because you don't have the time, what happens is you lose discipline. You lose awareness. You ultimately lose control of your spending, and here's what happens. People start to justify it. Oh, I'm just busy, or I don't have the time, or I can make more money working than actually cleaning up behind myself or cooking myself a meal. I make enough money. Why not? I value my time, so I just pay people. This is what I hear. I value my time. And so you end up paying people to do the stuff that you grew up doing just fine until you start having more money. Yeah, and it's possible that you could actually be wasting a ton of money and disconnecting from the very habits that built the money in the first place that you have. See, simple things like cooking yourself a meal, managing your schedule, handling your own responsibilities, cleaning your own toilets, right? Those things, they have a tendency to sort of keep you grounded. I don't care how much on the grind you are. Sometimes you need to take the time to do some of the things yourself for the sake of sanity and the sake of staying grounded and not paying to outsource your entire life. Listen, these things can keep you sharp. So yeah, I'm not saying don't delegate anything, but I'm saying delegate where it makes sense. But don't outsource your entire life, right? Look, that's the 5 financial traps that you're going to face as your net worth grows and you start making more money. Look, if you're at the stage where you're making more money, but you still feel disorganized, join my 4-step financial reset. It walks you through how to structure your money the right way. So you're not just making more money, you're actually keeping it and building upon it, right? Enrollment for the next 4-step financial reset is closing soon. So if you've been thinking about getting serious about your finances, this is the time to step it up. Check out the first link in the description box below. And if you want to stay connected and go deeper, join our Patreon community where I go more into investing and money management. Look, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, drop a comment and say, I got value, so I know. And share this video with somebody who you think needs to hear it. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Until the next video, peace.